Welcome. Good morning. I'm going to talk about dealing with haters and trolls, and this is an important topic. I remember the first time that I had somebody that came to me and they falsely accused me of horrible things. You're dishonorable. You're disrespectful. You're the most disgusting psychopathic person I've ever met in my life. I had somebody, prospects, on the phone telling me these things when I started in my business, and honestly, it got to me. It cut deep. Is the verbal abuse from other people that I was experiencing. And it almost made me want to shut everything down. When I first started, I was so concerned and worried about what everybody thought about me. I was constantly trying to manage and maintain the perceptions that other people had. And it devastated me, all the mean things that people were saying. And so I had to learn how to deal with this. Something had to change. How many of you, when you get into business, are you struggling and dealing with the fear? If you're in online direct response marketing, I help coaches, course creators, authors, speakers, you're dealing with and worried about people speaking and saying negative things to you on the internet, haters, trolls, or maybe you're selling and they say these things. Newsflash for you, it only gets worse. You will experience a level of verbal abuse that you never imagined in your life when you start selling online, when you start putting yourself out there as a coach, as a course creator. There's nothing that you can do good enough, kind enough, nice enough to prevent people from doing that. And so that's the bad news that I tell everybody is you can't let the fear of what other people do to you stop you. I spent the last 3 years trying to figure this thing out because it literally gripped me. It stopped me from being successful. First, I tried to be a people pleaser, please everybody, do what everybody wanted, and it only made everything worse in my life until I realized I had to develop thicker skin. I had to get stronger. And how did I do this? It wasn't about toughening up like you think. It was about self-esteem, self-love, and actually liking myself. You see, in my life, my worth was tied to what everybody else said about me. You say bad things, well then it must be true. You say I'm a horrible person, well then you must know better than I do. And this is how I live my life, is that other people's opinions about me dictated who I was. It dictated what I thought about myself. And so I had to change from getting my self-worth from others' opinions about me to gassing myself up, believing in myself, having self-affirmations, and then hanging around other people that encouraged me in my greatness, that loved me, that constantly spoke into my life. Now, these weren't people that just said what I wanted to hear. They would challenge me and call me out on things in a loving way. You know, some of us grew up where we thought that tough love and verbal abuse is the answer to things. We hang out with people that ridicule and criticize us. And honestly, that's a load of crap. People that say mean things, it's not your job to convince them to be nice to you. It's not your job to get their approval. And so if you grew up trying to get the approval of somebody that's verbally abusing you, it'll train you in your brain that that's what you need to do. And unfortunately, some of us, we grew up that way. And so if that's the case, you will repeat that cycle in business. You will constantly be trying to seek approval from people that are being mean to you. And your own self-criticism will get in there and you will start verbally abusing yourself until you change something. Until you stop hanging out with people that criticize you, that constantly are ridiculing you and putting you down. You stop paying attention to the trolls and haters. You stop worrying about managing your appearances, managing your perception, your reputation. By the way, reputation has to do with your character and what you do. Anybody that's actually done business with me never said any of those bad things about me, which is like awesome. I can look at my track record. People that have actually done business with me say incredible things about me all the time. The rest of these people, honestly, I don't know what's going on. They're projecting their own insecurities. They're projecting their own opinions about people. People dislike direct response marketers. When you're a coach, when you're a course creator, if you're an author, a teacher, direct response marketing is how you sell. It's how you get results, and you're gonna piss people off. You're gonna make them livid and angry at you. They're like, it's what happens. You're not going to make everybody happy no matter how much goodwill you bring to the table. It's just impossible to. And so when you can accept that fact and you're not trying to make other people be nice to you, you just ignore them, you just literally don't pay attention to the rudeness. The more successful you are, the worse the verbal abuse gets. It is. The worse the spoken abuse gets. People literally will cuss you out just for sending them an email. So then do you stop sending emails? Some people would. That's why 90% of businesses fail. They quit when it gets tough. You can't. You can either get stronger, develop thicker skin, or quit and give up. And quitting and giving up is not an option for me. Now, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of failures. But failure only exists if you let it defeat you, if you let it control you, if you let it destroy you and keep you down. You can't do that, my friends. Start changing the voices you listen to. Stop listening to the haters. Stop paying attention to them. Stop giving your energy towards managing and maintaining what other people say. And listen, I get it. You might say, well, I had an abusive father that said all this stuff about me, and so that's all I think about myself. You might need to work with a therapist through some of those issues. I had to work with a therapist through some issues myself, from friends and my past and experiences that I had in my childhood, from church and growing up, and painful memories that I was repeating in my life. Literally repeating life memories of people saying things to me and me trying to gain approval of other people. And I was doing that in business, and it was so painful till I said no more. I'm done with it. I literally do not care about other people's opinions about me. Literally, I don't. Don't let the trolls and haters stop you from being successful. Pursue your goals, focus on winning, and don't let anybody stand in your way.